Last night I only got an hour and a half of sleep. So do know that my patience is thin. We already removed 2 people for idiotic comments that are unproductive. For those of you who would like to learn how to think in productive ways, Boss University. If you'd like to figure out how to express yourself in ways that won't be offensive or hurtful to you and your own self-interest, the Master Communicator course. Now we are rocking and rolling. May I first acknowledge before I even get started, shout out to the folks who supported the work before I even started. Why? Because I always deliver. I never show up without being prepared and having meaningful information. That's why I don't come on a schedule. I come when I'm inspired. Here we go. We're reviewing a video that was recorded on the Lapeef network, and shout out to Lapeef, the whole team over there. Very good brothers, honorable men, as far as I know. I've had great experiences with them. Very impressed with those gentlemen. They were kind enough to platform me, which I appreciate. And during that time, there was some very meaningful conversation. In fact, I'd say some of the more meaningful conversations on Black issues that have been had online. During that time, there was an out of control wildebeest female, 2 of them, Black women. And I had to address one of them. I utilized the method that is most palatable. I was polite and understanding and seeking knowledge, only to find out that I was dealing with women who are at the bottom. Yes, I was dealing with women who are going to remain unmarried, who are unworthy. And the only reason it's such a serious thing to deal with is because the Black collective, the foundational Black American, in fact, Black people around the whole planet Earth, all the other races too, but the Black peoples have a particularly acute sickness. And what we have to understand straight away is that, number one, the Black woman is the natural pair to the Black man. She is his property, yes, on a collective basis. However, we must also acknowledge that all of them will not get married because many of them are unworthy. They're only worthy of being concubines. You guys read the Bible. Some of you are, still slaves. You read the Bible. It speaks of concubines, and it doesn't even condemn them. That's like their natural role in life, is to be an object that is used merely to pleasure men. And some of these women are only worthy of such, for they do not have the characteristics of a wife nor of a mother, though they may have children. And we must learn how to deal with them effectively, and most importantly, limit their influence so they do not poison the young girls who have potential to grow up and be happy, healthy, and wealthy. Yes. And wealth is not just of the pocket. Wealth may also come from the unity, from community, from happiness, from all of the good things in life, health, and much else. So you might say, Marquett, why do you speak in such harsh terms? Because, as they say, desperate times call for desperate measures. You'd be a fool to think that the Black people are not in a desperate time. It's extraordinarily desperate. You all are being held in captivity. You allow your enemies to educate your children. You are so weak, you don't stand up to take what is yours. You beg for reparations. Not very manly. You're in a state of utter disrepair. You're in a matriarchy, even more so than the white man who has fallen. Your woman leads you to destruction, both you, her, and the child. We must acknowledge that not everyone is created equally. Not every man is worthy of a woman. Not every man can lead a woman. Not every woman is worthy of being protected, worthy of being in a family. No. As you say, they're for the streets. Leave them there. Do not honor them. Do not protect them. They are unworthy. You'd be a fool to treat a demon as though they're a good person. I don't care if they're male or female. And I won't stand for the lies. Believe all women. Protect our women. Are they our women? If they were our women, they'd be obedient. If they were our women, they'd honor us. There are some who are our women, and those are the ones that get protection. Those are the ones that get respect. The other ones, leave them in the streets. Treat them like that which you find in the street. You'd only put yourself at risk to honor them. They don't want to follow directions, but they want you to risk your life for theirs. They want to claim that they're going to follow you. But as she said, and you'll see it in the video, I trust, I'll only follow a man after he's listened to me. Go try that at your job. Go try that with your boss. Go try that with the white man. Go try that with the police. I'll only comply after you listen to me. I tell you what, if I'm your man, honor me the most. Honor me more than the government. Honor me more than the police. Honor me more than your boss. Honor me more than your ex-boyfriends. Honor me the most. Marquett, why are you so serious? Is it not a serious thing to be a protector of a woman and a child? Is it not a serious thing to be willing to exchange your life for theirs? Do they not ask you for a major sacrifice? What do they give? You cannot get without giving. They want, but what do they sacrifice? No service, no deference, no respect. You see those white women get on, those black women get on there and talk bad about the white man, talk bad about the white woman. Well, if you talk bad about the white man and talk bad about the white woman and then turn your vitriol and hatred on the black man, who do you love? Who do you respect? You don't respect anything. Come on now. You don't have self-respect and you don't respect anything outside of yourself. They're psychotic narcissists. I'm bringing you a new gospel. Many of these black women so twisted in their minds, so hateful and vicious, not feminine at all. They'd rather go lay down with another woman just to escape the divine order of following a man. Talk about their blackness and their melanin, but they cannot yield to the man who is of melanin. It's lies, I tell you. You'd be a fool to believe them. You might say, Marquett, well, what about the guys? They're garbage. Most of them are garbage too. But that's not the topic of today's lecture. Shout out to Reginald, one of my young boys, the executive of Sasson Atlanta, young gentleman, very sophisticated, good brother. There should be women swarming him constantly. But the black woman is so ignorant, they don't know what a win is. They meet a man who's articulate, who's educated, who's successful, and then they treat him disrespectfully, like he hasn't earned all the things that he is. Even when he's tried and true, she still presents him with doubt as though she does not believe. Just imagine, you go out in the world that's racist and hateful. They question everything that you are. They deny you respect. Then you come home and experience more of the same from your spouse, from your mate, from your supporter. Your number one fan turns out to be your number one hater. That's what you sign up for when you're dealing with these black women. Some people might say that's not all of them. You're damn right it's not all of them. 3 good ones in my house right now. It's not all of them. It's most. And that's too many. So I got to speak up on it. And there are no good women who get offended at what I say. They sit back and say, yeah, he's right. Because when they do that which is right, they are condemned by these dirtbags. They're condemned by these women who are trying to negatively influence them so they too stay single. These women don't want to burn in hell alone. They want you to be there with them, roasting s'mores with them as they burn in hell. Huh? I've always told you the demons, they want to share their evil. You ever be in a bar or in the club? Shots for everybody, drinks on me. You ever heard them say books for everybody on me? You ever heard somebody say, hey man, I hear you're studying. Can I give you a couple bucks for your tuition? But they'll put 5 on the weed. Come on now. You ever notice how people will willingly share that which is detrimental, but they never say, hey, gym membership's on me. Come on. Let's talk about it. Anyway, shout out to Reginald. He has a backpack briefcase product. You guys have seen the backpack briefcase, the brown one. It's back. It's on sale. He's selling it. How did that happen? I blessed him with that opportunity. Why? Because he's worthy, hardworking, honest. He's the executive of SAS in Atlanta. That's what this community is about. We teach entrepreneurship. We live out entrepreneurship. We utilize community, collective economics. We respect the individual. We respect the family. We're in motion. This is the revolution. No one can question what I say because you got to deal with what I do, what the actions are. mdblabel.com. You can grab yourself backpack briefcase. The new brown ones are in stock, and it's for a limited time, as you know. You guys bought them 3 years ago. They've been out of stock for 3 years. They're back now. So anyway, shout out to the young ball. We're so decayed in terms of our value set. We're so soulless that we don't appreciate. No, we don't appreciate. You see, we're so sick mentally that we only believe that which is valid comes from what the white man told us. Yes? You like Martin Luther King because your history teacher in your schools, your government schools, told you that he's the guy. Malcolm X, you were told he's the guy. You didn't figure that out on your own. You didn't learn that from your elders. You learned that in school. You barely learned anything from your elders. You didn't learn about who you are. That's why we observe all of this sick behavior. You don't know how to respect one among you until he's been validated by the white man, by the system. Worst white supremacist on earth is the black man and the black woman. That's the worst one. And in our communities today, and in our families today, the single most destructive force is the incompetent black male, which is most of them, and the unruly black female aided by the United States government and white feminist ideology and culture. Oh, and I tell you what, for us to unhook those tentacles, it's going to take some work. Aisha, I've never met you before, but how do you feel? How do you feel at this moment?
In regards to what?
I said, how are you? How do you feel? In regards to what? What do you mean in regards to what? You've never been asked how you are before? You don't know what that means? Precisely why we know that Ike Turner is the greatest philosopher of our time. In regards to what? In regards to your state of being, Now you might say, Marquett, why are you so lit right now? Because the problem is that serious. Imagine how much of your life will be hell on earth if you were fool enough to get a woman like that pregnant. If you were fool enough to be stuck with a woman like that. And truth be told, in a state of nature, it wouldn't matter if you got her pregnant. But in the hells of North America, where the government and the system is aiding and abetting her in crime, it's a great danger. It's a great danger to get a broad like that pregnant. But I tell you what, I hope you're part of the SAS, and we will support and help you in dealing with her, because she will get no provision, no protection, no financing unless she is serving her duty as a wife and as a mother. And in fact, we will give her all of the opposite. We will deal with all of our enemies collectively. We won't bow down. Yeah, those people, we're going to learn from them. We're going to regulate our own communities. We're going to run our own programs. Oh, there shall be no man above us. There shall be no government above us. We are our own government. And I tell you what, we must take a heavy hand to deal with these demons and dingbats. We must condemn them. Now, the reason I didn't speak this way to her on the panel was for the sole purpose of highlighting it doesn't matter how you approach the devil. When you're talking to a demon, they're going to behave like a demon. If I were to be gruff and vulgar and raise my voice, she'd say, look at the way you're talking. That's why I'm behaving this way. If I'm polite and civil and calm, she still behaves like an animal. So I just wanted to demonstrate, yeah, the black men need some cleaning up. Oh, they need some cleaning up. And I'm willing to do the work. The reason I ask is because of your body language. It seems like, and I don't know you, so I don't have any, right? I say your body language. I'm indicating to her that your body language is off. You're misrepresenting yourself. And because you're wearing my skin, you're misrepresenting me. You're in the public sphere. Look appropriate. Have some respect for the self. Have some pride. Imagine being so damn lost, so disgusting of a being that you don't care how you comport yourself in the public sphere. You can notice there are differences in class. Some people are low class. Some people are low culture. Some people are low value. And none of that has to do with income. And they won't admit it. They will deny. But I tell you, I believe in hierarchy. And we're going to treat you like what you are. If you're a cockroach, you will be treated like a cockroach and you will be crushed and discarded like a cockroach. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Bob. It's a new era. Anything to compare it to.
It's time to start talking about solutions and pointing the finger at, oh, well, that's a perfect example. She didn't listen. I didn't listen because I was bored.
Now, first off, if you're bored, that means that you have a limited attention span. You're not a problem solver, but here's the kicker. Women in general are not the problem solvers. You're not the leader. It is only in our disorder that we've even allowed you to be a part of a conversation, which you don't need to be a part of unless you're there taking notes, unless you're there saying, yeah, boss, that sounds about right, unless you're in a complimentary supportive role. You're not the leader. You wouldn't know a solution. You wouldn't know one. You wouldn't be able to implement one. Come on now. Oh, these broads think they Martin Luther King out here. Huh? Yeah, they think they Martin Luther King until it's time to take that bullet like Martin Luther King, huh? Come on now. Women, they're cowards. And there's nothing wrong with it. Marquett, why do you say they're cowards? Always talking about, I need to be protected. They're cowards. They don't do the protecting. So what in the hell sense does it make to let them be out in front leading like they're going to lead the charge? They're not. We put ourselves at risk letting them stand out in front. We put ourselves at risk taking their advice, which always leads to misguidance. We've all been guilty of it. Nothing worse than taking their opinion. Do you hear them out every now and then? Yeah, sure, why not? 9 out of 9, you'd be a goddamn fool to take their advice. Look at the pettiness, the childishness, the immaturity. Showing her the respect that she does not deserve. And what does she do when you hand that respect over? She slaps it out of your hand. Respect is a gift. She throws it onto the ground. Why? She's undeserving of it. That's why I say, be good to good people. I have a 3 sentence Bible. Be yourself, be good to yourself, be good to good people. Number 3, be good to good people. Don't be good to everyone. Be good to those who are good people. It'll pay you dividends. And for those of you who are not members, boss up. Because I tell you what, I don't want you to be in your old age talking about the time when the revolution was underway, but you weren't in it. Be a man. If King Leonidas is going and gathering up 300 men, don't be hiding out in the back, watching the real men step forward, thinking that you're a real man. You better go be a part of that 300 while King Leonidas is gathering soldiers. You might not have been a soldier before then. You might have been a farmer. You might have been a carpenter. You might have been a janitor. But the war is on. And if you're a part of the tribe, you get your ass up and you get a part of that 300. Yes, sir. Otherwise, you're a coward. We're in a war. We're losing the war. We're in a war for goodness. We're in a war for culture. We're in a war to reestablish the natural order. Come on now. I can't tell you how despicable it is when I listen to older Black people, male or female, talk about, oh, I remember when Martin Luther King was alive doing X, Y, and Z. I remember when Malcolm was around doing this and that and giving a speech here. And then I say, were you a part of the movement? And they say, oh, no, I saw it on TV. And then I know you're the problem. Yeah, you're the problem because you weren't a part of the solution. Huh? Were you there? The Million Man March. Were you there? Oh, no, I saw it on TV. Get away from me. Mr. Thompson writes, are you still doing the Codes for Black People book? Absolutely. And it wasn't going to be a book. It was going to be a course. And also, I want to do it live if possible because I need the question and answer because it provides the best understanding in terms of how to apply. Books are not interactive. In fact, I'd even venture to say that books increasingly will be a thing of the past. It is not the most effective way of learning in this day. They're too slow. It takes too long to get them into print and get them out published. Books will be a thing of the past. I say this as one who's read many books. But yes, it must be done. But Martin Luther King was funded and financed by certain groups of people, not Blacks. At the start, he was a preacher. He was financed by the church. But all that movement, no. Blacks didn't finance all that. Blacks didn't put him in the media. Malcolm X, when he started, he was financed by the Nation of Islam, the Black people. Then when he reached superstardom, he was taken over by the enemy side. He was no longer financed by the Nation of Islam and the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. If someone would be kind enough to remind me, I want to do two separate videos. I want to do one on Martin Luther King, how he had no ideology and was ultimately destructive for the Black psyche. Somebody write that down. Remind me of that one. I also want to do one on Malcolm X, how he is a traitor. Yes. And I'll open the floor for debate. But notice, every time someone shows up to debate, they come with emotions. They come with no logic and no arguments. All they can ever bring is their lack of understanding and their programming.
What was the past thing that worked for us? Do you think that can be a remedy today or no?
May I ask a strange question, Ro? You'll also notice before I said anything, I allowed a couple beats of silence for someone else to get in there. And if you actually watch the original panel, for the first significant amount of time, maybe 30 minutes, I didn't say anything. I came onto the panel, thanked the host for bringing me on. Didn't say much for 30 minutes, at least. There, you saw me give a beat for someone to step in. Any of the two women, Bo and Aisha, who have bad attitudes, either of them could have stepped in. And if Bo, Aisha, if you're watching right now, this is not about you. It might sound like it's about you, but it's not about you. It's about your type. Yes, it's about your type and preventing the existence of your type because your type is destructive to the Black family and thereby the Black people and Black community. But I gave time for someone else to jump in. They didn't want to jump in and have that conversation. Yet she's so offended when she doesn't get to feel like she's being heard out. Quick. Aisha, I've never met you before, but how do you feel? How do you feel at this moment? Now, mind you, when I asked that, I know in everybody's head, they're like, oh, wow, did he just address her straight up? Yeah. See, that's what a man does. If you are the patriarch, if you are the leader, you're leading. You take leadership. You make sure that the house is in order. If something in the house seems out of order, you address it and you make sure it gets fixed. So I addressed her. Now, here's the thing. When a woman doesn't grow up with a father, a proper father, she doesn't know what it feels like to have a man check on you and make sure that everything's straightened out, whether it's for misbehavior or just to help you along. And so immediately there's this instinct to take offense. And there's this playing dumb. And for those of you who may be in a relationship with a woman such as this, and they come in all colors, unfortunately, the playing dumb is a very common strategy, whether the woman's intelligent, educated, or otherwise. The I don't understand or I didn't know what you meant is playing dumb, or questioning you when there are no questions to be asked because it's as clear as day. I said, how are you? Oh, what do you mean? We don't play that game. Shout out to Reginald, came in by PayPal, writes tuition for the great works. Hashtag Black Jesus, peace of the saints. Let's work. Not even Jesus, you heard me? Because Jesus turned the other cheek. I ain't turning the other cheek, and I ain't letting you slap me. I'm slapping you first. Assassin or nothing.
In regards to what?
Your personal feeling. Like, how do you feel? Like, how are you?
Am I in a good mood today?
And look at her asking stupid questions like, am I in a good mood today? Damn, shorty, your ass is 40 years old. Nobody ever asked you how you feel? Extraordinary. This is the behavior of the Black female. But I tell you what's worse is the effeminate Black males who are supporting this kind of misbehavior. And you'll never find that it's the mentally strong, truly masculine man who's respected by other men who condone this filthy behavior. It is exclusively the weak Black male, whether he's weak physically or weak mentally. Some of them are strong physically. You'll find them in the NBA. And these are the same guys that are sleeping with Brittany Renner and dealing with cougars while they're supposedly in the strongest position, yet their mind is weak. And that is why their outcomes are bad. These ones need to be marginalized and destroyed. We must get the weak male under control along with the unruly Black woman. She can only be a concubine, and the weak male shall be a slave. Like, how are you? How do you feel right now?
I'm good. I'm fine.
I'm good. I'm fine. Also known as lies. So what she does, she's asked a fair and square question, addressed respectfully, and then she lies. Shout out to Naomi supporting the word. Good to see the ladies out here respecting the word. Shout out to the lady saints in the building. May I also acknowledge Eddie. She lies and says, I'm good. I'm fine. Now, gentlemen, you might be dealing with a woman like this, wondering, why is there so much conflict? Well, there's a lot of conflict because if you asked her how she is, you're troubleshooting. Then she lies and says, I'm good, I'm fine. Now, mind you, I'm good is not proper English, which is fine. I'm good. She should say, I'm well. I'm good, I'm fine. Now you're under the false idea that there's no problem because you've been lied to. Yet, all of her body language, behavior, and speech indicates that there is a problem. So now she's undermining you and stealing small bits of joy and peace from you as you try to get along with her under the false idea that all is well. Ooh, if that ain't an enemy. If that is not an enemy right there. Our population is so accustomed to vice and filth that they can't see a good thing when it comes along. They can't accept anything pure. Yes. You'll notice consistently, how do you have Black leaders that are overweight? To be fat is a representation of a mental illness. How could a man have the body of a woman and be your leader? How could a man not be fit enough to protect himself as an individual, but be at the vanguard, at the helm of leading and protecting a community and family? How could you be so foolish to follow a man who is scarcely a man? A shame. A shame. Shout out to Foxy supporting the work. Shout out to the ladies pulling up. Yeah. That's a beautiful thing because we must have the good women with us. We absolutely must. Okay. The reason I ask is because of your. Now, when I said okay, that was me in my head saying, okay, okay, you little dumb. You're lying. I get that. So I'll explain to you why I asked you. Body language. Now, I want you to also notice right now. Okay. The reason I ask is because so now you see Bo finally looked up. Miss Pearl is attentive. All of a sudden, people are paying attention. Why? We're observing something rare. We're observing a man, a Black man, address a Black woman in a completely healthy, honest, honorable, and productive manner. Even though she is not a good Black woman, she's being addressed as such with the presumption of that. And that's something we don't get to observe every day. We damn near never get to observe it. Because when it's Dr. Umar, then they go over here talking about Mother Queen. Yes, Mother Queen. Can I suck your toes, Mother Queen? When it's Shannon Sharp, this nigga over here letting Dr. Cynthia Bryant, whoever the chick is, she actually likes women but gives advice for heterosexuals. He over here asking her these layup easy questions with no pushback. Or it's the boy who dressed like Cat in the Hat with the dreadlocks. That guy talking to Dr. whatever her name is. She's not even a doctor. Got her damn degree from DeVry or some online college, University of Phoenix online. She's disrespecting him and he's folding up and cowering. Imagine you 6'7", used to play in the NFL and you cower at a sexually deviant woman masquerading as an intellectual whose personal life is in disrepair. No kids, old, unwanted. Of your body language, it seems like, and I don't know you, so I don't have anything to compare it to. This could be your physical representation of happiness. But I ask, in as much as we got all Black folks here, we're discussing the issues of our community, and it almost seems like maybe you're a bit drained. And I don't know you, that's why I ask you. Could I have been more respectful? Could I have been any better a builder of a bridge? No, I'd say not. I'd say that's about top of the line. Giving her the opportunity to engage me in an honorable way.
I don't know why you're concerned with me being drained.
Oh, I don't know why you are concerned. Now, here's the thing. Black men need to protect us. To protect you, do I not need to understand you, understand your state? Black men don't care about us. Black men don't think about us. Black men don't pay us no mind. I say, how are you? Hey, I'm observing something in you that does not look like you're happy, that you're content. What's going on? I don't know why you need to be concerned. Well, I thought we were in the same community. I thought we were all Black people. I thought that was one thing. Can a community member not have concern for another community member? I tell you, she's right in as much as I am the Black man and she is the Black bed wench. We are not the same. We are not in the same community. She is not a contribution to the community. She is a threat to the community. She can offer no value. She can only take away and detract. We have to be able to figure out which ones are a part of the community and which ones are not. Thought you were my sister. I never thought that. I know better than that. But she's disguised as my sister. Disguised as my kinfolk with her tightly coiled hair and her brown skin. I might mistake her for being one of us, but she is the enemy among us, the most dangerous. If the war popped off, we got to take her out before we take out the external enemy. She got to go first. Come on now.
Not, but I'm definitely not drained, and I'm definitely.
Now, here's the irony. Listen to her voice. Listen to her voice. You don't have to be a scholar. She said, I'm definitely not drained. I'm definitely not drained. I'm lying through my teeth right now. I don't respect nobody on this panel. I'm the same woman during slavery that was sleeping with master and was happy about it, bragging about it, and used to be happy when he turned around and lynched one of you in words. I'm definitely not drained. I'm definitely not drained. Extraordinary. Listen to this nonsense. And you tell me what you think. I'm going to enlarge this. Look at the way she's engaging.
Me being drained or not, but I'm definitely not drained, and I'm definitely listening and have been a part of the conversation the entire night. I just think that you guys were having your own dialect, and I probably was not.
Now, see, that's the problem is you have unintelligent people on the panel. She says, I think that you guys were having your own dialect. The word would be dialogue, number one. And the problem is you have people who are imbeciles who think that they're qualified to be on the internet speaking to the masses. No, love, you need to be returned to the 8th grade so that you can get your basics in. Because that's a basic word everyone should know. Dialogue. Dialect is more sophisticated. I can understand if she didn't know the meaning of dialect, but the word she was looking for was dialogue. Marquette, do you say that to degrade her? No. I say that because it's a point of fact. You should not listen to people who are idiots. Marquette, why would you call someone an idiot? Because I'm honest. That's why. I'm honest, and we need some truth here. A lot of you rascals, you seek the way, the truth, and the light. The truth is here. The light is here. Is it too bright? Huh?
Found out a couple of times because you're long-winded, and I felt like I already knew the point of what was going to be said.
Now, she just said you're long-winded. This is an insult, and that's fine. I tend to think that I'm a master of concision, but that's fine. That's an opinion someone can have. No worries there. But then she says, I knew what you were going to say. Now, what are the chances someone who's of inferior intelligence is able to predict what I'm going to say when she has not even a fraction of the knowledge or the mental processing capacity? What's the chances? This is when you're an imbecile, yet you know not. And so often in the Black community, that's what we're dealing with. And I don't know if it's necessarily innate IQ or it's the broken school systems or the lack of nourishment as a child. Who knows what it is? I don't even think we need to find out. What we do need to do is to start now rebuilding. We need to start now homeschool. But it doesn't have to be homeschool in the sense that it's so expensive. When you co-locate, then homeschooling is basically a shared school and you split costs and you don't need to have the kids in school for 8 hours. It's probably too much, especially for male children to sit down for 8 hours. That's why I'm selling acres at the Burton Plantation. You can buy 1 acre. It's $30,000. You don't have to pay it all up front. Pay $3,000 as a deposit to hold your plot. Once everyone pays all the plots, there's 10 plots. Once everyone pays the plots, I'm going to put you guys all together in a video call. And then if anyone after meeting everybody wants out, we're going to let them out. I'm going to refund their $3,000. Once everyone meets, like, hey, we like everybody. Let's all agree on what we want to do with our plots. Make sure it doesn't interfere with what anybody else is trying to do. Then you guys pay the remainder of what you owe and build on your land as you like. I don't care what you build. And in addition to that, we got another 20 or so acres that are shared in common. That is for the good of the community. It's the most extraordinary deal. And why do we have that? Because with that number of families, we can afford to have an instructor come in and teach the best in technology, come in and teach excellence in the English language, come in and teach history, computer science, all of these critical things, so that by the time our kids are in the 8th grade, they should all have businesses. By the time they're 18 years old, they should all be millionaires. By the time they're 20 years old, they should already have children. Marquette, that sounds so early. It's not early when you were a millionaire at 18. Come on now, pay attention. And here's the kicker. They don't all need to be millionaires. If out of the 30 or 40, 50 kids in the community, if 10 become millionaires, fantastic. Everyone's set. Why? Because we're in a community. We take care of each other. Come on now. And hey, here's the thing. We're already building on that. 3 of the plots we already have deposits for. 7 plots left.
But no, I'm doing just fine.
I yield the floor.
That was kind of strange.
Go ahead, True. You want to chime in?
No, I mean, they laying down pillars. I think that there's a consensus thought of the fact that we do need.
Shout out to True. He's completely right. That was a damn meaningful conversation. Shout out to Illa. I was really impressed with the brother. It was a meaningful conversation. But here's the thing. If you're speaking philosophy in front of someone who is a TikTok thought, in front of someone who has an Instagram mindset, in front of someone who has a peanut brain and a 10-second attention span, doesn't matter if you're breaking down, Das Kapital. It doesn't matter if you're breaking down the Beyond Good and Evil or the Inversions of Morals. If you're speaking of Nietzsche, none of that matters.
structure, ideology. I don't know if we need to tie a tag to it, Islamic, Christian. I think that's where things get a little bit muddy. Superior structure, having we say why are you what it is a lot where
I can read it.
And I don't know if we.
Okay, shout out to Cooley. Now, Cooley got energy because Cooley will come out and say some of the things I was thinking and or feeling, but I damn sure wasn't about to say it. Shout out to Cooley because it sounded like bro was about to say what was damn sure on my mind. And it's largely because we're the same kind of man, which means leader, which means we establish order and discipline. So let's hear from Brother Cooley.
Can answer that tonight or maybe
True. I can agree to that. It's funny here because we're on this panel, all of us are black, and I don't think women should lead at all.
Shout out to bro. I agree with that 1,000%. Now trip on this. You'll hear people, ignorant black people, they'll get at Cooley foul because his lady is white, right? An attractive young lady too. They'll get at her foul because she's white. And I think, no, that's interesting because as long as she's on his program, they're getting on in a happy family, she's yielding to his leadership, you shouldn't be mad at him or her. You really should be mad at the women like Bo and Aisha, because if you truly believe blacks should be with blacks, you should wonder, well, then why is it that these black women have misbehaved in a way that caused him to overlook them? Because he was raised by a great mother. I've seen his mother, gorgeous, tall, good-looking woman, very honorable and gentle. And the other piece is he's financially well off. He's tall. He's good-looking. He's aged well, physically fit. That's a hell of a man. That's a hell of a man to pick. So it wasn't him that was in lack. He's the one that's sought after. So the question is, well, why didn't black women lock him down? Because he fits the description of what women of all of the races want. They couldn't lock him down because their behavior is despicable. And it's in failing to acknowledge their despicable behavior that you do the emotional, irrational thing of deriding him because he's with a white woman who's on his program. You're getting mad at him because he took his best option. I'm not saying that a white woman is a better option than black women. I'm saying over the span of time he was dealing with women, he encountered a good white woman before he encountered a good black woman. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, a good black woman or a good white woman that was interested in him. So he first encountered the good white woman. You can't hate him for that. But you for damn sure can hate black women. Like, damn, like, y'all clearly are mad. Y'all didn't get him. So, like, why didn't you just behave better? Why didn't you exhibit the behavior or shall we say, show the qualifications to get the job that you wanted? Right? I mean, that's how you get the job. You show the qualifications. Just imagine showing up to the job thinking that I'm black, hire me because I'm black. That doesn't work, sis. I'm sorry. You'll hear women of every color say, I'm submissive. I can cook. I believe the man should lead. But as soon as it's time to cook, you're like, this can't cook. You thought you could. You can't cook. They can say they can cook, but they cannot actually do it. If you thought that was cooking, you're truly deluded. They say they can submit, but then they got these conditions on the submission. I wonder how those conditions worked out when Massa was running things. You heard me? I wonder how those conditions worked out when Massa was in control. When he told that bed wench, you go wait up for me in my bed. You're going to be my belly warmer tonight. Do you think that she was telling Massa, oh, Massa, I don't really feel like it tonight. I'm tired. I have a headache. No, she ain't tell Massa that. She went up there and got in that bed and waited for Massa to come do what he wanted to do. Complied 100%. Well, I'll tell you what. We're going to need that same level of compliance. Yes, sir. We're going to need that same level of compliance. And do it happily while you're at it. Huh? Shout out to Mr. Chambliss. Writes, Marquettdavon. I was not notified for this live. It'd be like that. You guys know that the Google Corporation is suppressing me. I've had 10 people today message me and say, hey, I saw your reel On YouTube, I clicked the like button. It wouldn't accept the like. I clicked the comment button to make a comment. It wouldn't allow me to comment. You don't think that they're tracking me? Boy, they've been tracking me since I was in the 3rd grade. The Gifted and Talented Education Test, it's an IQ test. I was recommended for by my math teacher, a white guy, when I was in the 3rd grade. He's not my math teacher, but it was because of my mathematical ability that he recommended me. I took the test, did very well. Then they changed me out of regular classes and put me into Gifted and Talented Education. The IQ is obviously there. Why would the government want to figure out which kids are high IQ and then nourish them? Why would they want to do that? Maybe it's to recruit for their intelligence services, their clandestine services. And then they're going to track you over time. And if they find that your ideology, demographic, or your religion is out of line with Americanism, then they're going to say, okay, well, he can't be an asset to the American government, but let's keep him on the list because he's a potential threat, because he has the intelligence way above his peers. He has the organizational ability and he has the articulation. What COINTELPRO used to call that is the revolutionary black messiah. Those are the dangerous ones. So they co-opt you like they co-opted Martin Luther King and they co-opted Malcolm X. Take control of you, remove you from your team, put you on their team. You don't think they tracked me over time through all of my educational experience, testing out of high school at 16, starting community college, doing 2 years in 1 year, coming into Berkeley as a junior at age 18, founding a fraternity organization, displaying organizational skills, the ability to get men to follow me. Then going on to Johns Hopkins, taking a master's in Johns Hopkins full-time while teaching full-time and founding a nonprofit and then raising millions of dollars. You don't think they've been tracking? Then starting a software company that was very successful, took me around the world, offices in South Korea doing deal with the Chinese government, office in Puerto Rico, office in St. Louis, office in Pennsylvania, in Erie, Pennsylvania, office in Springfield, Missouri, office in Chicago. You don't think they've been paying attention? Like, we should keep an eye on this guy. It's your international contacts is going to make you particularly dangerous. Filled up 4 passport books, enormous network. You don't think that they're paying attention to me, trying to suppress me? Ask yourself. Look at all the blacks online. 80% of them are literally dumb. They're no threat. The ones that are just above average intelligence, like say a Candace Owens. She's above average intelligence, but she's a woman. She'll never be a threat. She's not an organizer. She's just a commentator out for the money. She'll never be a threat. She's not willing to kill, not willing to die. She's irrelevant. Look at Dr. Uwe Johnson can't even open a damn school. I opened an international corporation operating in 5 time zones. Who do you think they see as a threat? Use your common sense. The CIA, the FBI would have no skill in identifying threats if they didn't pick me out. Marquett, what do you mean? Look at my SAT score. In the top % in the whole country. You don't think they can pick me out? Like, come on. Forget my SAT, and that's top 1% of all of the races. Then if you look at it for black people, it's ridiculous. Like I'm so far away from the damn mean, it's ridiculous. You think they don't think I'm a threat? You think it just so happens you're not getting the notifications? You think it just so happens you hit the like button, it won't accept the like. You hit the message button, the comment button, it won't let you comment. You think this stuff is by chance? Come on. Come on. Shout out to Mark. Comes in by PayPal. He writes, for the lesson, peace to the saints. Carrying on.
Just the simple fact that Marquett asked, I believe her name is Aisha, a question, and she said, it was long-winded, I zoned out. This would tell you something about the woman's nature. Ooh, right? Part. You don't lean on the woman. Like they're actually supposed to be a good listener. but they tend to not really do that job good.
Look at her. Look at her. He's talking about the inability to listen. And then she has her big, thick hands all over her face with these extra long fingernails, which is an expression of being filthy and ghetto. Because if your fingernails are long, you cannot clean yourself properly. And even if you could clean yourself properly, there's filth that's going to gather under your fingernails. I have short fingernails and I have to keep an eye on mine, make sure I'm washing my hands constantly and thoroughly because it's unclean. And then you put something false on top of your real nails? Damn, word? Take the phoniness to a new level. Women don't really exist. They're the reflection of the man. Marquett, you're getting deep. Is this like metaphysical, spiritual? What are you talking about? Women don't exist. They're right here in front of me. No, they're a reflection of the man. Where the man has fallen, oh, the woman is in the mud. Where the man stands tall, the woman is honorable, respectable, and respected. When the man is natural and strong, the woman doesn't engage in filth and phoniness. She does what the man condones. Huh? Yes. Just imagine having a wife wearing a blonde wig and you don't condone blonde wigs. Then who is she following? Not you. Come on now. Talk to me, man. Imagine you being in tip-top physical shape and your wife is fat. How'd that happen? How'd that happen? I know some of y'all like them thick. Me too. But thick, not on the stomach. Come on. A woman is a reflection of a man. And these men are out here weak and lost. But I tell you the good news for the woman and the bad news for the man. The good news for a woman is if there's, say, 10 men and only 3 of them are good, you guys can all migrate to the 3 men that are worthwhile. And you do. That's how women operate. They go for the top. They go for what the other women seem to like. Herd animals. Hive mentality. With the men, if you look at 10 women, there's only 3 good ones. You're screwed, little buddy. Oh, you're screwed. Because a woman is earth for one man. She is soil for one man. She's soil for one man. So if there's 3 women out of the 10 that are good, a lot of you boys ain't about to eat. Y'all about to go starving. Come on now. So the woman has the better position. And while we're here, let me correct something. In our culture, we don't speak up on the attractiveness of another man's woman or the lack of attractiveness because it matters not. We're focused men. We're focused on that which is available to us. Another man's woman is irrelevant to us. Who cares? It only matters if she's attractive to him. If that's what he likes, that's what he likes. But what you often cannot see is the goodness of the woman, the soul of the woman. You might be able to see it in how she manages a home, how she keeps her man fed and cared for. She shows up in those beautiful ways. She shows up in a pressed shirt and a man's calmness. But it only you degenerates who talk about a bad bitch. I don't want a bad bitch. I want a good woman.
You know what I mean? So we don't lean on the woman or have to ask our women for direction and things like that. No, men need to take charge and we need to.
Now look at this behavior. Look at this behavior. I'm gonna enlarge it. You got little buddy in the upper left corner. Is he a tall, strong, masculine man? No, sir. Has his hands covering his face like a 3rd grader or a woman. Then immediately next to him, you have a black wildebeest, masculine, high testosterone bed wench. She's covering her face and making faces. And I've already addressed this. I already chastised one of them. They're repeating the evil behavior. And is it any shock that they're both overweight? The 2 degenerate ones, is it any shock that they're both overweight? No, sir, it's not, because obesity is a sign of mental illness.
Lead our women. She's a prime example, right? Prime example. And nothing on you, Aisha. I'm just saying, like, she didn't. Marquett was speaking very intellectual. He was speaking concise and clear.
And let me tell you one thing they hate. When you have, and see, you guys heard me earlier complimenting the brother Cooley. That's my brother. It's nothing but love. When you identify with someone, when you're within a community, a tribe, it's love. I'm going to reinforce for him. He's going to reinforce for me. My family being regulated and his family being regulated, it's going to create an ecosystem wherein all the organisms are in perfect harmony. There is no parasite here. Everything's in harmony and it all builds together and provides for growth. Yes? So they hate to see these two strong Black men harmonized in unity and goodness. Oh, they hate to see it. They ask, where is the unity? There it is. And look at how they behave when they see strong, wealthy, successful Black men unified. I thought this is what you wanted. No, it's not what they want. They want wickedness, destruction, death, and disease. That's what they really want. But I tell you what, we will bring a sword to that filth.
And for you to tune out and not listen.
I was absolutely still bored, and it has nothing to do with my intellectual ability.
Yes, it does.
I'm 2 degrees in. They were going back and forth for about 10 minutes.
Now imagine saying that you can't listen to someone talk for 10 minutes, but you're supposedly 2 degrees in. Last I recall is university has a lot of lecture in it, especially at the graduate level. You would expect more sophisticated topics that are dry and less engaging. So these women speak on their degrees, but they know not that it isn't a representation of your intelligence. It's a representation of you sticking with something and the university finding it profitable to keep you involved and giving you a piece of paper in exchange for $50, $60, $70, $80, $100,000. They won that one, doofus.
It's about the same topic, and I felt like it was very redundant. I think the conversation took a left turn and it went from the original.
Imagine being nobody and having achieved nothing, yet you think you have a sense of when the conversation needs to move along. You've never moved anything along. You've not moved along a successful career. You've not moved along a meaningful family name. What have you moved along to be able to decide when we're in the correct part of the conversation? The arrogance, the hubris, the narcissism. Listen, some men may be narcissistic, but every woman is a narcissist. God damn it. Just go in one of their bathrooms. Look at all the stuff in there. I'll be in there like, yo, I'll be picking up objects. What the hell did this do? I don't even know what this does. What is this? Peace to the saints indeed. By the way, if you're a member at thesassin.com, that's THESASN.com. Make sure you click join if you haven't already. But if you're a member, keep an eye out. We have another exclusive that'll be available to you soon. It's called Self-Improvement, Taking Opportunities and Knowing When to Quit. Very important lesson there. Looks like it's time for us to wrap up.